Cold screen flickers, silent whispers crack. They trusted silence. Phones never lie. Hidden taps hum. Eyes never blink. Control is fiction. Chaos wears a mask. Every swipe counts. Every breath monitored. The unseen moves, angles shift, unnoticed. Fear tastes electric. Confidence collapses slowly. Their world trembles. I watch, amused. Secrets leak silently. Lies fracture, crumble. A phone, a weapon. The game rewrites itself. They think they lead. I lead shadows. Monsters hide in corners. Angels wink quietly. Every notification screams. Every vibration a pulse. Power dissolves gracefully. I whisper, chaos answers. Their order dismantled. Their fortress hollow. Every variable counted. Every move irrelevant. And still, they call it safe. A simple device became their undoing. The city sleeps, but not truly. Lights flicker in alleys. Street lamps hum a subtle tune. They call it order. I slip through shadows, silent, deliberate. No one notices. No one dares. They trust signals. They trust silence. Devices cradle their secrets. Phones, screens, messages. Weapons hidden in plain sight. In their towers. They sit confident. Glass walls, polished floors, precise schedules. Smiles tight as control. Hands poised like conductors. But perfection falters. A misdirected email. A misplaced file. A whisper, unheard, moves across corridors. I notice. Always notice. Patterns invisible to the trained eye. Glitches unnoticed by arrogance. A door left slightly ajar, unremarkable, yet revealing everything. The phantom signal hums, a vibration too soft for the elite to detect, a frequency pulsing beneath their routines. They think they act freely. They are already puppets. I study their gestures. The twitch of a hand, the pause before a word, a glance that betrays anxiety. Every motion mapped, every breath accounted. A metaphor whispers itself to my mind. Their world, a secret club, unseen tests at eve. Rye corner. Graduation is optional. Success, conditional on mistakes they haven't yet made. In the elevator, light flickers. Shadows stretch across their suits. I watch. I wait. I allow the first domino to tremble. A phone vibrates in a pocket. A notification appears on a screen. It is trivial, insignificant. Yet, it carries a weight no one suspects. The elite believe in control. They believe in layers, protocols, firewalls. They believe safety is a lock, not a cage. They do not notice the phantom signal. It whispers through networks, corridors, and minds. Every tap, every swipe, every ignored alert adds to the tension. The illusion of control stretches thin. Their confidence begins to tremble silently, almost imperceptibly. And there I am, smiling, leaning in the background of their woe. Al-D, observing chaos they cannot yet comprehend. The first secret pulses in my hands. A device they deemed safe, already rewriting their reality. The game has begun, and they are unaware. They think they learn, they think they lead. They study manuals, rules, protocols. They memorize lines, rehearse gestures. But the curriculum is invisible. Lessons hidden between movements, between whispers. Tests unannounced, paradoxical. Failure is silent. Success, only an illusion. I watch classrooms that aren't classrooms. Offices, streets, abandoned factories. Every corridor, a lecture hall. Every glance, a professor. Every misstep, a failing grade. The elite move carefully, measured words, polished hands, a network of small lies bolstering larger lies. Yet the cracks are subtle. A door left unlocked. A message sent to the wrong recipient. A shadow cast differently than expected. Tiny deviations, unnoticed, until revealed. I trace patterns like ink on paper. Monitors, cameras, phones, forgotten devices. Every instrument of control under scrutiny. Every heartbeat, every hesitation catalogued. Paradox emerges. The more they assert mastery, the more they falter. Order becomes shh. Chaos disguised as routine. Metaphors whisper. Secret clubs. Angels grading silently. Monsters hiding behind etiquette. The elite think they navigate safely. They are walking tests without knowing the rules. Graduation? Impossible without my approval. I toy with perception. Small, seemingly accidental disruptions. A light flickers just long enough. A chair moved slightly out of place. A whispered rumor in the wrong corridor. Each misalignment, each detail becomes part of the curriculum. They question nothing. They assume mistakes are random. They believe in control. And yet, I am already 3 steps ahead. A phone vibrates again. The phantom signal pulses quietly, unseen by them, yet shaping behavior, guiding miscalculations. Every notification, every alert, every shadow teaches them W. Without their consent, they are students of chaos. They are unaware participants in lessons designed to unmake them. I lean closer, unseen, a smirk ghosting my face. Their arrogance blinds them. Their confidence becomes the chalkboard for my instruction. By the time realization strikes, the curriculum will be complete, and they will have learned exactly what I intended. They notice anomalies. AC glitches. A file disappears. A message misroutes. But they rationalize. They call it coincidence, a network hiccup, human error. Paradox takes root. The more they try to control, the more control slips. Order fractures like glass, sharp edges slicing confidence. I observe, every hesitation catalogued, every pause analyzed, a subtle twitch of the hand, a diverted gaze, every micro-express. Ion, a secret revealed, environments twist beneath their feet, abandoned warehouses hum with echoes of their mistakes. Underground tunnels swallow whispered commands. Neglected offices hold the remnants of failed precision. Every setting, a mirror of collapsing certainty. Monsters hide in the margins. Angels pretend to watch. They believe themselves untouchable. They believe they understand. They do not. I manipulate shadows. Light bends where it shouldn't. Reflections distort reality. A chair out of place. A door left slightly ajar. All invisible yet screaming in silence. Small disruptions escalate. Corrupted files appear. Wrong emails sent. Minor surveillance gaps widen. The elite stumble blindly. The phantom signal whispers behind every screen, guiding missteps, nudging chaos. Compet. ITER-style metaphors creep in. The secret club evaluates silently. Graduation impossible without errors. Tests hidden in plain sight. The elite answer questions they do not know exist. Confidence erodes, ego trembles, paranoia blooms like dark flowers. They begin questioning their own competence. Doubt fractures alliances, whispers become mistrust. Every action now suspect, and all the while I remain unseen. A smirk lingering in reflections, a shadow in the corner of vision. The architect of subtle ruination. The fractured paradox settles. The more they cling to control, the more irrelevant it becomes. The stronger they resist, the faster the world bends to the phantom signal. And in their blind pursuit of order, they learn. Order is a lie, control, a joke. It rests quietly, unassuming. A tool they call ordinary. A device they trust blindly. But trust is fragile, fragile like glass, and glass shatters silently. I watch, fingers hover over keyboards, eyes scroll screens. Nothing seems out of place, yet everything is. The phone hums softly, a vibration unnoticed, a notification unseen. Yet in its silence it speaks volumes. Every contact, every conversation, every hidden fee. Now bends to my will. A misdirected message becomes a revelation, a forgotten photo, a weapon. Permissions overlooked, exploited, control dissolves byte by byte. The elite scramble, frantic glances. Shadows move unnaturally across polished floors. Documents shift, emails redirect, alerts ignite. Small signals cascading into chaos. Each action reinforcing the unseen hand guiding them. The foe. Nay graduates from student to teacher, from passive observer to active disruptor. It whispers secrets they never intended to reveal. It exposes lies they never thought exposed. Every swipe, every tap, every ignored alert becomes a pulse in the heartbeat of chaos. I lean in, a ghost among wires and walls, smirking at the unraveling. Every carefully constructed facade begins to crumble, the illusion of control, unmasked. Paranoia rises like smoke in a sealed room. Competitor-style metaphors slip in. Secret clubs never intended them to graduate. Angels monitor silently, unseen, while monsters, my kind, play in the spaces between. The device becomes their unseen instructor. Lessons enforced without consent. Rules rewritten mid-game. The elite begin to hesitate. Every action second-guessed. Ever. Why message a threat? Every sound a signal. Their confidence fractures. Their routines falter. And still, they call it safe. A simple device. A phone. Nothing more than a tool. But in its quiet awakening, it dictates reality, exposes vulnerability, shifts power, and I, unseen, untouchable, hold the strings. The device awakens, and so begins the cascade, a small silent instrument that reshapes T. Air world. They believe themselves angels, clean, polished, untouchable. Rules followed, orders obeyed, but shadows stretch behind them. Monsters linger in corners, in reflections, in silence. And I am one of them. Every step they take is measured, every word curated, every gesture rehearsed. Yet perfection is my playground. I toy with perception. A chair shifts unexpectedly. A light flickers. Just long enough. A shadow dances along walls. Small manipulations. Tiny fractures in their pristine world. Messages misroute. Notifications arrive too late or too early. Secrets, once confined, leak quietly. The elite scramble, confidence crumbles like sand slipping through fingers. They fail to see me. I smile, lean, observe, whisper. Actions orchestrated without their consent, every misstep, every hesitation, every flicker of doubt, part of the lesson they do not know they are learning. Metaphors unfold. Secret clubs judge silently. Angels blinded by hubris. Monsters, patient, manipulate, tests invisible, consequences tangible. Fear grows, a virus in their composure. Paranoia blooms, trust erodes. Allies glance sideways, whispers turn to suspicion, orders become hesitation. The dev. ICE hums its quiet lesson. Notifications, files, forgotten permissions. All instruments in the symphony of chaos. Every tap, a nudge, every alert, a pulse of panic. I remain unseen, smirking in corners of offices, observing shadows in abandoned hallways, leaning against polished walls, watching towers of control sway as their foundations weaken. The paradox sharpens. The angels believe in order. They crave control, yet it is their own structure that crumbles, and monsters, my kind, dance freely. Power shifts subtly, confidence erodes, chaos settles like fog. The elite glance at each other, searching for answers they cannot see. Their world bends quietly, and I, untouchable, remain the architect. By the end, they are unsteady. Control is no longer a fortress, it is a cage, and the key, LW. A's in my hands. This is where it tilts. Not suddenly, not loudly, just enough to feel wrong. They sense it first, a pressure in the room, a hesitation before commands, authority losing weight. Their movements slow, decisions second-guessed. Every step now dangerous, every choice recorded somewhere. I guide the imbalance, a nudge here, a silence there, nothing dramatic. Precision is cruelty. Their structures betray them. Processes loop endlessly. Approvals stall. Messages contradict each other. Control devours itself. The environments reflect the shift. Industrial corridors echo emptiness. Deserted theaters hold their unspoken panic. Frozen docks mirror their stalled momentum. Spaces once powerful now feel abandoned. I move through it all, walking calmly, touching railings, watching. Reflections warp. They feel me without seeing me. The device continues its work. Notifications at the wrong moments. Files appearing when denial is convenient. Evidence surfacing without explanation. The phone no longer listens. It commands. Competitor metaphors sharpen. The secret club closes its doors. Graduation revoked. Tests rewritten mid-exam. Angels stripped of rank. Monsters promoted qui. Etly. Fear tightens. Voices lower. Eyes dart. Alliances fracture under pressure. They no longer act as leaders. They react like suspects. I exploit timing. Let them move first, then reveal the cost. Every attempt to regain control only deepens the imbalance. The tilt becomes undeniable. Power no longer sits where it used to. Authority leaks away through cracks. They refuse to acknowledge. I stow. P-pushing. I don't need to. Gravity handles the rest. They cling to routines, schedules, procedures, relics of a world already gone. And in the silence between their decisions, between their stalled reactions, they realize something terrifying. The system isn't broken. It's obeying someone else now. Me. This is not chaos. Chaos is loud, messy, uncontrolled. This is precision. They Fina. Lee see it. Not clearly. Never clearly. But enough to feel the truth clawing at their thoughts. The system didn't fail. It obeyed. Just not them. Rooms feel smaller now. Ceilings press down, walls listen. Silence carries weight. They move like actors who forgot their lines. Power once spoken without effort now trembles on their tongues. Every command echoes back, empty. I step through the afty, Armath calmly, not hiding, not revealing, just present enough to be felt. They search for culprits, hackers, rivals, traitors, anyone but the idea that control itself betrayed them. The device completes its evolution, no longer a tool, no longer a weapon, an authority. Messages surface at perfect moments. Conversations appear where denial once lived. Connections form that were never meant to me. Private becomes undeniable. Phones light up simultaneously, not with alerts, with consequences. Eyes widen, breathing changes, hands shake. This is exposure without spectacle. No explosions, no announcements, just realization settling in slowly, painfully. They understand now. Every secret was catalogued, every lie time-stamped, every compromise archived patiently. The secret club metaphor collapses into truth. There was always a curriculum, always a final exam. They just assumed they were the instructors. Graduation denied, status revoked, ranks meaningless. Angels fall quietly, not screaming, not resisting, just stepping aside. And monsters? Monsters thrive in silence. I don't gloat. Gloating is inefficient. I observe the transformation. Allies fracture completely. They stop. Trusting voices, then faces, then themselves. Meetings dissolve into paranoia. Orders contradict each other. Authority circles endlessly. Looking for a place to land, it never does. The environments respond. Lights feel harsher. Shadows linger longer than they should. Reflections refuse to align. They start noticing patterns too late. Moments where they hesitated. Choices they dismissed. Warnings disguised as inconveniences. Every ignored vibration. Every dismissed notification. Every later. This was never about speed. It was about inevitability. I walk past glass walls, past frozen expressions, past people realizing their influence has already expired. They attempt recovery, new tow calls, emergency measures, lockdowns layered on top of failures, but control doesn't come back. It never does. Because power doesn't respond to panic, it responds to understanding, and they never understood the game. The final tilt locks into place. Not dramatic, not visible from the outside, but permanent. The device goes quiet. No alerts, no vibrations, no noise at all. That's when it hurt. Most. Silence confirms everything. They look around, expecting someone to explain, to announce, to claim victory. No one does. I don't need an ending. Endings imply closure. This is continuation. They will wake tomorrow, still powerful on paper, still influential in theory. But something is gone, something they'll never recover, certainty. And I leave them with that. No speech, no warning. No signature, just a world that no longer bends for them. Absolute tilt, complete. They reach for control, fingers hover over devices, eyes scan screens like lifelines, but the lifeline is gone. Every tap misleads, every command twists back, logic fractures, bending to rules they never wrote. Whispers fill the room, not audible, not loud, but heavy enough to suffocate, every glance a questie. On, every hesitation a confession. The city outside feels irrelevant, towers, streets, traffic, All obey patterns they cannot decipher. Their influence reduced to dust in the wind. I move among them, a shadow threading through panic, calm in chaos, a smirk barely noticeable, yet enough to unnerve. They try to gather, plan, recover, reclaim authority. Each effort inadvertently reinforces the collapse. Every reaction predictable, every solution a trap. And finally, they understand the device was never just a phone. It was a mirror, a test, a silent judge. And the lesson? Power is never given. It is taken, and I always take it.